Let's go. We'll wait a little bit to start doing what we're going to do. What's up, chat? How we doing? Let's go. What up, chat? What up, everybody? How we doing? We're gonna get into some videos here in a minute. I just wanted to say what's up, see how you guys all doing. So I got this one. This is a really good one we're gonna watch. How come I can't make this big? There we go.
None of us are stressed about the election, right? It's all we all are gonna just go have the best night's sleep of our lives, aren't we? All the enjoyment unsaid. When did it end?
They're fucking salty, boy.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm
What
done
is
with
that?
you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
What is that?
Senate race.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to happen. Republican Kevin
Go Kamala
will be returning to the Senate from North Dakota. In the Senate race.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't even have to freak out right now. We don't even have to fucking, like, we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because
No, it's real.
recount the vote.
No, it's real. It's real.
I just voted, and I chose family.
And
Beta.
Beta baby.
this reign of terror now.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose
Wow,
America.
what a
I
joke.
love you.
We're moving on. I'm moving on. We're moving on.
What a joke.
I love all of this. Let's do it. Let's do this.
What a joke.
You were wrong.
Yes, you were. Very wrong.
It's an utter betrayal
No.
for anybody that is not a cisgendered white Christian. If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala, and you live in one of the states that it was,
Psycho.
close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
Psycho.
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies.
Psycho.
Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. Fuck you. Alright, guys, it's time to go to bed. None of us are stressed about the election, right? We all are.
This is great, you guys. This is such a good one of the liberals melting down already. Let's see.
Was saying was for the first 6 months of 2025, whatever successes we're going to get on this TV show and claim that Donald Trump has had are going to be because of the simple fact that the policies put in place were working, and people will begin to feel it by then, although they don't feel it now.
All right, before we wrap up here, Alex Thompson, you have been covering the Biden campaign, followed by the very abbreviated Harris campaign. We have not heard from her yet. We expect to hear from her in the morning. What are you hearing from inside the campaign right now about how they think this happened? What the questions are that are being raised? I mean, I certainly have already heard some quiet so far, but people saying, well, if Joe Biden had still been at the top of the ticket, would this have been different? I'm, of course, skeptical of that, but I want to know what you're hearing.
Yeah, the finger pointing is already starting, and it's only going to become more direct. I'll just give you two quotes from people that I talked to tonight. This is a former Biden advisor. How do you spend $1 billion and not win? What the F?
So well done.
There's a lot of F-bombs that get thrown.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got a whole lot of things to cover, guys, over the next few days, because it has become apparent that Democrats are the gift that keeps on giving. The absolute total meltdown and chaos that is happening inside Democrat Party world is going to be peak entertainment probably for the next 2 years, okay? I think that the Democrat Party infighting in the upcoming civil war between the establishment and the progressives is probably going to be enough entertainment to get us by for the next 2 years, okay?
Seriously, it will be.
Republicans make America great again, right? So I'm just saying that the Democrat civil war has already started because, as you guys know, Kamala Harris went dark, okay? She went dark after last night when it became clear that she was going to lose. Instead of manning up, okay, or womaning up, whatever you want to call it, and addressing all of her followers who decided to join her for the watch party,
What's
she
up,
just
Cap?
said, you know what, I'm going to go to bed, right? And setting all the people
What up,
home.
Ron?
Okay, let them listen to some music.
How you doing, bro?
As she decided to, I guess, go and cry in her bed about losing. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what she was doing. So, yeah, for the most part, most of the day, Kamala Harris has been missing in action over losing the election. And there's been speculation about what's going on inside of Democrat circles because apparently they're already playing the blame game. Take a look.
White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich is live in Washington, D.C. Of course, now we look forward to what she'll say at 4. Jackie, what has the Harris campaign been saying to Democrats?
Well, Sandra, they actually haven't told any of their own surrogates anything, including what to tell their donors or even how to understand what happened last night. We don't know what the vice president is going to say this afternoon, aside from conceding
Why are you
this
doing
election,
better than you deserve? What do you
because
mean?
some
We all
sources are
deserve to
admitting
do
me
well,
right
brother.
now, the Democrat Party is soul-searching. As one person put it, the Democratic Party has no leader right now.
I woke up
period,
on cloud
because they
9.
cast Joe Biden, the sitting president, aside, and the candidate that they installed lost really big. Not only was the party very far out of touch with the majority of the electorate on big issues like immigration and the economy, but their strategy of telling people not to believe their lying eyes just simply did not work. A few sources are beginning to acknowledge to me that the Democratic Party sort
What's
of
wrong,
living
Ron?
within this liberal media echo chamber confirmed internal biases that ended up giving a skewed perception of reality. Part of the autopsy right now is probing whether or not they would have fared better if Joe Biden had stayed in the race. Listen.
I think it's hard to look back and talk about what could have or might have or should have been. President Biden has a very strong legislative record of bipartisan accomplishments, but we are going to have to sit down as a Democratic Party and look hard at why that didn't compel more folks to come out and vote for Democratic candidates, both in the Senate and in our presidential candidate, Vice President Harris.
Now, one Harris surrogate told me that all the headlines that we've been watching for the last several weeks were also being read within her circles, and people were raising the alarm. For instance, about her failure to
I didn't
clearly
even know who that
articulate
was.
her
I just
policy
looked it up.
positions and
Wait,
focusing
maybe I
so
do.
much on threats to democracy.
No, I don't know who this is.
One thing that
He's a
I think she
conservative
knows was a
financial
mistake
advisor,
was to say
author,
on
and
The
radio.
View that
Okay.
she couldn't think of a single thing that she would do differently from the Biden administration. That was
Trump is
opener
gay.
for her to show Americans that she's going to get tough on the border, that she's going to
January 20th, Jose.
That was her chance.
Bro, I think I'm gonna Dave Ramsey's. That's why I didn't look. I just looked him up. I don't even know who he is.
Campaign know that she was going to
I
lose
think
this
I'm like
election.
gonna
As we pointed out on Monday,
not game for the rest of
over
the week and
weekend,
just
they
take the
were
week
not
off for
sending many
gaming.
positive signals when that early voting data was coming in, and so internally there is some wonder about whether or not they
You're
were
okay.
all just sort of blinded by hope, and how
What are you up to,
long
Jose?
they knew that her chances were very slim, and why that wasn't shared more widely within the Democratic Party circles and the circles within the campaign. Sandra.
Yeah, so that is what happens when you get your news from CNN and MSNBC and Roland Martin. And
See, this is what I tried to tell people. Like, refresh your mind. Yeah, bro, it feels good to just like not game. Dude, I did it for so long. What, 5 years? Basically, almost every fucking day. I mean, not every single day, but you know. That's why, like, when we am at work right now doing. Oh, nice, dude. How many more years of school you got left, Jose? Because I know you just graduated, and now you're finishing another. Your bachelor's? What is it? See, I like this Jose. This Jose is way better. Don't bring Jose, whatever your last name is. I won't say it. Leave J Dog here from now on. All right.
these other people who do nothing but confirm the Democrats in their biases, right? Which is that they're perfect. Nothing went wrong. Okay, Kamala Harris is amazing.
Or say,
She doesn't
well,
need to
dude,
explain
do as best
anything.
as you
don't have
can,
to
and
be
that's
better
all
than
you can
Hitler.
do.
I mean, these people quite
You know,
literally
you
were
learn.
saying,
You learn
we
from
don't
things
have
that you
to be
do
better
wrong
than
and
Hitler,
right,
right? That
regardless.
was the closing argument from Kamala Harris and Democrats. Why is it that
All
we're holding
right,
Kamala
I'm gonna.
Harris to a
I'll
higher
take your
standard than
word
Hitler?
for it.
I'm just saying, not very convincing stuff, okay? Not very convincing stuff. So Kamala Harris did eventually come out and show her face. Okay, she stopped
I always
being a
look
coward,
at things
okay,
as
and
whether you
decided
fail
to
or
concede
pass,
the election
it's
to
still a learning
Trump,
process.
which
You're
a lot of
learning because
Democrats
you could
named
think
fake
you know
tip-offs
something and actually
and
not know it, and then you're still
don't come
learning
off.
that you
saw
didn't know
them
something.
visibly
You know,
crying,
I don't know.
crying tears. It's men crying over Kamala Harris losing. But the crazy part about this speech is that honestly, this was
Oh, hey,
Kamala's.
you guys weren't here earlier. Nobody was really here. We're gonna restart this. This is one of the greatest fucking videos so far this year.
All right, guys, it's time to go to bed. None of us are stressed about the election, right?
Yeah!
We all are gonna just go have the best night's sleep of our lives, aren't we?
Jeez. These liberals are fucking lunatics, dude. I don't know one conservative woman that did this. You don't understand it, Professor. So where's his feedback? What if tell him he'll be gone and tell him you're gonna get him deported, Jose. The video of me in 2020. I don't know if I don't think it'll look. I mean, Lewis spent half my day watching it, dude. It's so great, Lewis. Here, you know what? Let's go find me back in 2020. We can do that actually. I can go to YouTube and go to my gaming page, go to my oldest 13 years ago. This was 4 years ago, so and I wasn't that good this long that back then. I don't think there's any me with my face though. Oh, dude, 2020, I was an asshole, Vaughn. Yeah, ice cream and tears. Oh no, I wasn't like that. I was more so like, obviously I wanted Trump to win, but like I called my best friend and he told me he voted for Biden. And I was just like, why, dude? He's like, oh, we need change. I was like, bro, we just had to change. But like, I didn't get mad about it or upset about it. TikTok gets annoying. I didn't get mad or upset about it. I just continued to live my life. Like if you see like shit, I started streaming in, 2020 and these are all like shitty videos though. Like I didn't know how to clip things and trim them. So if you see they're like 15 minutes long, but they're like pointless ass videos. I think later on I started learning like right here that I can
Oh, there's fucking all three of them.
look this is a gulag.
Downed one.
Like we shot that's why we shot each other at the same time.
Get to cover, I'll get you. Try to get to the staircase if you can.
Your team can still buy you back if they have.
Let's see. See, this was a couple months ago. Let's see how far I can go back with the camera. I can't wait. TikTok is weird, dude. I upload my gaming clips on it and like I try to mess with it a little bit. It's just kind of weird. Like here's my gaming clips, Vaughn. These are who am I playing with? Oh, nobody I knew.
Yeah, that tech was murking, dude. This now. Where's that load?
Yeah, I did. I might grow my hair back out. It's already starting to grow back out a little bit more and more.
God damn it.
Oh no, I fucked that up. Let's see if I can go find one of my clips from when I was first started. Let's see. A year ago. For my gaming page. It's just Bird Dog, BYRD, DAWG. Oh, this is an older clip. Did you see that? You see what I did? Look at this. This was the old one, right? This is when I couldn't even move all that good. Watch, I smacked this dude with a throwing knife. Right? Smack him right. Let's see. I don't have any like videos with my face on it because I didn't stream on YouTube a lot back in the days. Oh, this is with my Cali sticks. This is my favorite. This is my favorite, the Cali sticks. No, this is a shotgun. Oh my god. Let's see what else. So let's get back to this. Is Trump supposed to give a speech tonight?
That unfortunately I listened to during Kamala's campaign. Her concession speech actually sounded like the best one, in which she sounded like
I don't
somebody
have a
who could
StreamYard link.
possibly
How do I do that? I don't
lead the
have that.
Democrat Party in the future, right? She sounded like she could be
I
somewhat
don't have
competent
StreamYard. I use
in this speech.
OBS.
Take a look.
The light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up and as long as we keep fighting. To my beloved Doug and our family, I love you so very much. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your service to our nation will continue.
Oh god.
And to my
That's so
extraordinary
funny.
team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves.
Listen, I have a friend and he's Mexican. He was all against Trump last time. Legit voted for Trump this time. I was like,
It is
bro,
okay
let's fucking
to
go.
feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would
But I thought he was Hitler. If it's gonna be okay, then is it? Why? I don't get it.
often say when we
No, I think she got too drunk last night. Yeah, she went on stage. The spirit of peanut lives on. Let's go, Lewis. Accept the results of the election. I mean, listen. Let's be fair, Vaughn. This was this was too big to rig. No way she got drunk. Yeah, that's what my buddy said. My buddy said she got too drunk and couldn't go on stage.
fight, we win.
Hey,
but here's the thing.
call it
Here's
what you
the
want.
thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't
Biggest
win.
comeback of the century.
That doesn't mean we won't win.
You lost.
The important thing is don't ever give up. Don't ever give
Hey,
up. Don't ever.
did you guys see how tall Barron is compared to everybody? That kid is a fucking monster.
Stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power. And don't you ever listen
You
when
won
anyone
this time.
tells you
Yeah,
something
but
is impossible because it has never been done before.
there was so many irregularities last time. First time, then it was I was with let's go, Lewis. Lewis, you're gonna like this then. My buddy sent me this earlier.
Or even fully counted. May I remind you that a lot can change. If we do fail to win the presidency for Kamala, after all the work I've done for white dudes for Kamala over the last few months, we will return in 2028. Kamala 2028 will be the greatest political comeback the world has ever seen. Not just America.
My buddy sent me this.
And I firmly believe that Kamala is still the
54% for
Trump.
Trump.
The United States.
Latinos. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Okay, you had Tim Walz and Doug M. Hall boohoo whining and crying.
Trump
So
is short.
the
Dude, Trump is not short.
flowing, and they
Why do you think Donald Trump's short? He is not short, bro. Neither is Melania.
on the mainstream liberal media outlets as well too.
I'm gonna show you this.
I mean, in that mission and that purpose, Claire McCaskill will determine. You okay?
I think I'm okay.
Tell me.
Donald Trump. He's also. He's not 5'11". He's about 6'2" or 6'3".
I don't think people realize how hard it is to get to where she was. As a woman, getting elected DA.
6'9". That's wild.
Trust women to be in charge of making decisions about life.
Barron
and
is
death and
Trump's
crime and
son.
being, frankly, a supervisor.
If she did what Trump did in 2020, Bird, what do you mean, Vaughn?
Through the primary thicket of California politics to become Attorney General. Really hard. I mean, this is really hard.
Some white liberal.
For her to be selected.
I think he's going to be president one day, for real. Trump said he already helped him with shit.
Very disappointing
What do you mean, Vaughn?
What
can you imagine what if she did what Trump did? No. Don't talk in riddles, dude. Listen, Vaughn, bro. Free speech is back, brother. We're good. Yeah, no. What do you mean, though? I like having these conversations, Jose. Free speech is back. You can just say what you want. You don't have to be in code. Like, do you mean say that the election was rigged? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you mean by do what Trump did? Lewis, I could really see Barron being president one day. She can't say that. We'll see. She can't say that because I'm going to show you why she can't say that. Here's why she can't say that. I don't know if this is it or not. Hold on. There was another one I was using. Here we go. Shut up, Jose. No, be nice to each other, guys. Here's why. Here's the reason why, Vaughn. All right. Do you see this number? And do you see this number? That's a difference of 4.7 million votes almost, right? Can we see? Here, hold on. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. How many votes went where in 2020 presidential? Let's see. I want more of an actual number. Where the iron? I don't have an iron knee. I have a regular knee. I'm just trying to show you why. It's possible. Oh, here's why. 3 million. Okay. Oh, wait, that's at 254. What did Trump lose by initially? This isn't the full number yet. I don't know. I can't seem to find it. I thought it would have been a little bit easier to find, but I guess not. I'll tell you what, though. Oh my God, I'm 25. Where do you live at? Jose, be nice, bro. You don't need to be mean to all the people
And then to
now
be vice
just because you're nice
president
to
and
us.
to
I don't know, Vaughn.
step into the most difficult situation in the
Where
world,
do you
where she
live
had to
at,
be
Vaughn?
completely loyal to Joe Biden and respectful of
Where
the
you
path
at,
that
Vaughn?
he had
Hey,
chosen
come
her,
meet you outside your
yet
house.
maneuver
Okay.
in a situation. I mean, such political skill. It is just inspiring. People who don't understand what she had to do to get to this moment. And so I'm just very proud of her.
No, that's wait.
So I'm trying not to be too emotional.
Wait a
Because the reality
minute.
is, you know, Miss Shyamala came to this country like my
Go
mother
back
did.
to Mexico.
And it's one of the things that when I've interviewed Vice President Harris, we talked about both our mothers came here in the 1960s.
You guys be
as
nice.
immigrants.
Jose,
And Miss
be
Shyamala raised her an
nice.
extraordinary
Stop
daughter.
it now.
This is an extraordinary woman. And I'm sad for the country that they missed out on the opportunity to see how far she could go. Because this is somebody who was given nothing at birth. She wasn't born with $400 million in the bank. She climbed her way to success, both to
I'm
that
gonna deport
prosecutor's
both of
office,
you
to
fucks,
that
dude.
attorney general's office, to that vice presidency after battling Joe Biden and like 8 other people in a primary. Got to be vice president of the United States of America. This is Black and Asian American woman.
Yeah.
Shama raised a bad girl, man. And I'm proud of the race that she ran, which was almost picture perfect. She raised $1 billion. She did everything
Jose.
right.
Yeah. They're proud of her. She did
Stop
almost
it.
everything perfect. She raised $1 billion, right? As if that means anything. You raised
Jose,
$1 billion,
stop.
you still lost, right? That's bad. Okay, you did not do everything perfect. How did you do everything perfect?
No,
when
she
you
did
raised
nothing
$1
perfect. What's up,
billion,
Kalisha?
right? You had $1 billion.
Kalisha, tell Jose to
These
stop.
people outspent the Trump campaign
Vaughn,
like
stop
crazy.
too.
It still lost. She didn't just lose the electoral college. No. She lost in a landslide. She lost the popular vote as well too.
Yeah, she did.
If you had $1 billion war chest and you lost the way that Kamala Harris lost, you definitely didn't do everything perfect. But again, that's part of the problem for Democrats. They legitimately do not believe in self-reflection. They do not believe in evaluating themselves and saying, hey, this is where we went wrong. We're not perfect, okay?
You
We
guys
have some
are
problems. We have some
crazy.
issues. And that is essentially what the Democrat Civil War is going to be about. It's going to be those who
What?
want
What
to
do you think they're gonna
reevaluate the
do?
Democrat Party and admit that they have some flaws. And the problem with that is that there are some that will acknowledge that, yes, we have flaws, but they will say for the wrong reasons. There are some that will acknowledge that, hey, we're too far left. We need to become a party of common sense and sanity
Yeah.
once again, right? Kind of
I
like
do
how the
too.
Democrats were back in the 90s. Okay,
Stop,
before they went
Jose.
woke after
Fucking
Obama was
stop,
elected.
dude.
Maybe we need to get back to that.
Calm
And there'll be
down.
some that says, well, we weren't woke enough.
Fuck.
And then there'll be some that say,
I
no,
hate you.
it's perfectly fine the way that it is. Regardless, right now, the main fight among Democrats is, well, whose fault is it, right? Is it Kamala's fault? Is it Biden's fault? According to a senior White House correspondent from CNN, I can't pronounce the last name. I'm just going to say Kayla, right? Kayla says the reckoning in Biden world, per sources, has been emerged among
I don't know
the
yet.
school
We'll
of
see.
thought. One, Biden could have won white working class
No.
vote. Obama 16 and Pelosi 2024
Jose,
are to blame for pushing them aside twice. Perhaps
dude, I
Trump
don't
is
know,
more
Will. You
deeply
might have
unpopular
to.
than anyone grasps. Yeah,
Jose's
so again,
being a
they all
jerk and
fight
fucking
about
Vaughn's
whose
egging
fault it is.
him
And
on,
furthermore,
and
she
it's just
says,
like,
ultimately,
dude.
as Casey and I discussed on air, the voters are always right in hiding in plain sight. 80% said Biden was too old to run in 2023. Yeah, they should have had a primary, right? It's really the fault of the Democrat Party elite, to be quite honest with you. Let's keep it all the way 100. It is
I
Obama's
don't
fault.
know
It's
why they're
Pelosi's fault. It's
arguing.
Schumer's fault. again, it's Biden's fault too. It's Kamala's fault. It's all their fault, right? But seeing them fight is just funny. Just 36% approved of his job in office in July.
Dude,
And polls
Vaughn,
consistently
stop
show,
fucking egging him
that
on, Jose.
inflation
You,
was topping all other issues.
thank
Okay,
you,
so
Will.
you have that. You also
You
have
guys
the Kamala Harris
stop it.
aide who
Be
has
nice.
come out
Don't
and
argue.
basically said that Biden is the reason why they lost, right? They're basically saying that, well, Kamala being connected
Yeah,
to
at
Joe
least she gets to
Biden
vote
is
3
the
times.
reason why she lost.
Let's
Okay,
go.
quote, we ran the best campaign
You
we
guys
could
be
considering
nice.
Joe Biden was president, a Harris aide told Politico.
Lewis,
Biden is the
how you
singular
think Robert
reason
De Niro's
Kamala
doing?
Harris and Democrats lost.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I went to McDonald's today only for Trump.
Quote, I got to say, I think
I was
that
like, you
with
know
the
what? I'm
president
hungry.
in the
I'm
country,
gonna go
I
grab
get
something. I don't want to.
individual
I'm about to
terms,
start
it would be a
grocery
miracle
shopping
that
so I
Kamala
could
Harris
eat
could
here a
win
little bit
with
more
that
and
kind of
cook my
headwind.
food and eat a little bit
That's what
better.
Chris Wallace
I'm
said.
gonna go eat McDonald's for my dog Trump.
So yeah, I mean they're blaming Biden, right? I mean they're saying that Biden's stupidity and selfishness sank Kamala, says Democrat
Yeah,
donor.
by me. I'm
Okay?
spanking both my
That's what's being
kids.
said here. You have Jackie Heinrich, the Fox News senior White House correspondent. She is getting a lot deeper into the problems, right, in the blame game that's happening here, right? And some people are saying that Tim Walz was a bad choice for a running mate.
Dude, terrible choice. Come on now. Listen, I am not a Democratic guy. Number one, Kamala Harris was the fucking worst choice. Jose, you stop it now. You guys are you guys, you're on time out, bro. What is I hate you. What the fuck, dude? Bro, I can't stop fucking laughing now. He came here and said, "Where the fuck's Vaughn at?" Dude, you're so fucking stupid.
And that Shapiro would have carried the blue wall states. Okay, this is from
Okay, so listen, here's what I was saying, right? Yeah. So listen, here's where they went wrong. Kamala Harris was a terrible choice. If you're going to choose a female, you should have chose somebody like Tulsi Gabbard. And I'm not saying I necessarily would have voted for her or not voted for her. I probably wouldn't because it's just my thing. But if you're going to pick a female, you should have picked Tulsi Gabbard. Or if you're going to pick a strong man, you should have picked RFK and let him really. But what it is the Democratic donors have a specific thing that they want to do, and RFK wasn't willing to do it. That's why he left the Democratic Party. If they were smart, they would have had RFK. They could have had Joe Manchin. I'm not a fan of Gavin Newsom, but Gavin Newsom is like another Obama. So they could have had Newsom and had Obama Obama Light in there, right? You could have got Josh Shapiro. He would have been a way better candidate for the Democrats. Like I said, Joe Manchin. Like, dude, there's so many people that the Democrats could have chose, and they decided not to, and they did it because they can't control. Well, they can control them, but they can only control some of them in certain aspects. Newsom, you think Newsom's going to run in 4 years? I think so too, and I think we're not. I don't think we're going to see Kamala anymore. I think we're done seeing Kamala. No, Gavin won't win. He won't win. Hell no. Because listen, imagine Newsom going against J.D. Vance. What if J.D. Vance ran with Donald Trump Jr.? Think about that. Jose, your mom was tit big. Dude, don't start evils in. Are you fucking Vaughn? Man, oh, dude. Listen, especially if I think so. Well, especially if they do a really good job, which they are going to do, then people can just chill with Gavin's record. He's terrible, Jose. He's fucking terrible. I hate both of you guys, and both of you guys went and got. Uh,
a
I mean, they're my sons, Kalisha. What you know? Did you expect anything less from my kids?
Harris Wall surrogate, Lindy Lee, okay, this is what she said. People are wondering tonight what would have happened had Shapiro been
They
wanted.
literally went and got
And
all
not
their
only
accounts
in
for the
terms of
60
Pennsylvania,
seconds.
he's
Time
famously
out.
a moderate, so that would have signaled to the American people
All
that
right.
she's not a San Francisco liberal that Trump said she was, but she went with someone actually to her left, Minnesota. In the eyes of the American people, Walz was the governor who oversaw the protests. I mean, here's the thing. Walz was definitely not a good pick. Okay, I mean, I'm not entirely sure why the Democrats thought that abortions and weak men would win this election, right? Like, who runs on that? Okay,
Hug each
abortions
other,
and
my
sugar laws.
kids.
That definitely was not
Love
a
each
winning
other.
formula for the Democrats.
No.
You had
No,
an
Tim Walz was a
incompetent
terrible
woman with a
choice.
man that's overly
And
emotional.
Kamala Harris.
Like,
What do you, let me ask you guys something, chat. Actually, we're gonna put this as a new poll. All right. We're gonna end this poll. Who was there you go. I want everybody to go answer the new poll.
that ticket was just a turnoff, right? It was a turnoff to anybody with any common sense. Let's be real. Harris's positions were not clearly staked out. She knew that it was a mistake to say on the View that she couldn't think of a single thing that she would do differently from the Biden administration. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think that's when her campaign lost any chance of winning. And I
I
said
think
that
he's
when it
going to work
happened, I
out
said,
very
that's
well.
the end of her campaign. And a lot of people said, you know, hey, that's great
Send
say,
them to
oh,
me,
it's
Will. Put them
clickbait,
in
oh, her
chat so we
career's
can
not
find the
over.
good
And I'm
ones.
like, nah, her career is over, right?
I don't
Her
know
career,
what to
at least as
search
vice
for on
president.
here. We watched the one earlier on Instagram. Here, let's go. Let's go to TikTok. See, this is like, these are the people I follow, like Trump people and shit. So, liberal reacting to Trump election. Let's see.
I'm gutted.
I'm devastated.
I'm scared.
I'm sad.
Depressed. A little. I'm gutted.
I'm devastated.
I'm scared.
I'm sad.
Depressed. A little surprised. Not what I expected.
They elected a guy who's a criminal.
Unsettling.
It's a man's world, and that's all it'll ever be.
I think he's
Yeah!
but I'm a little
This
more
is a
scared about the
man's
people
world.
who elected him.
But I voted for Trump, so.
Oh, so you're excited?
No, not really.
No, I told you. You know, Jose, I was talking to my Puerto Rican friend earlier, right? And he said, he said it's fucked up. He's like, people took Tony's joke and way out of context. He's like, he basically said Tony told a joke about something that's really happening. And instead of people being upset about why the fuck it's happening, they're upset about the joke that's told about it. Yeah, I'll show it to you without showing you his name or anything. Give me 1 second. I'll screenshot it and I'll just show you what he said. I won't show you. I don't want to give his name out or anything on live. Give me 1 second. But listen, this is what my friend said. He said, "Funny how they thought the Puerto Rican thing was going to hurt him more, but more Hispanics voted for him, the most ever to vote for a Republican president." He said, "Puerto Rico is trash. Democrats are taking the garbage in the ocean surrounding Puerto Rico and dumping it on the Puerto Rican island. That's why they voted for Trump." And that's what dude meant with the Puerto Rican joke. See what I'm saying, Jose? Like, it's not everybody took it the same way. Definitely. In fact, Jose, you want to see something even crazier? It not only did it not backfire, but here, I'll send it to you actually. Give me 1 second. Check that out, Jose. I just sent it to you. Oh, hold on. Here.
Hello Windows. Tested for extremes. Designed for your home.
Yeah, Jose, check that out.
I earned my degree at DeVry, and I have successfully accomplished what I thought I would never do.
The greatest comeback in American political history. Donald Trump defeating Kamala Harris in a landslide.
Sir.
Axios is calling him one of the most transcendent political figures of our time. After surviving 2 impeachments, 2 assassins, and 94 felony indictments.
Yeah, you are. You're
Because
fucking
you did
Mexican.
The machine lost, and the Obama-Biden dynasty went down.
God, I hate you so
The
much.
Republican Party in the United States of America will never be the same.
This is the biggest red wave I've seen
But,
since
and it doesn't matter.
Ronald Reagan's 49-state victory in 1984.
This was a sweeping victory.
He is
But we're talking about
a seismic force in American history.
I have to see how bad the shellacking
I'm about
is.
to-
This is a shellac.
I'm about to have Kalisha mute you again for 60 seconds, all right? You're going to get muted for 60 seconds. I'm going to show you dictator bird around here. Trump ain't going to be the only dictator. I'm about to be dictated.
For the
No, you're 1,000% Mexican. I've seen your pictures and heard your voice. You are Mexican.
Democrats tonight.
Trump's on track to win 312 electoral votes, as we believe Arizona and Nevada will move red after their counts. Liberals woke up this morning
No.
confused.
They didn't change the way you look and change your fucking... It was beautiful. I would really wished... Hey, and listen, you want to see the pretty cool thing too, right? And I know it doesn't really mean much, but I mean, I'm going to show you guys anyway. What was that? I thought this was pretty cool. So I noticed this. Now, I know California votes blue predominantly, but listen, like, if people start really waking up, that could flip eventually. I know it's a lot of votes, but like, that's not out of the realm of flipping within the next 8 years, you know? Really? That's your brother's name, Javier? But look at New Jersey's numbers. He almost took New Jersey. Where is it? Where's New York? He could have taken it. That was close. Look at Maine, dude. He came a lot closer in Maine than I thought he was going to. So listen, Trump could take if we got to do good. That's not even that many. Well, I mean, it's a decent percentage, but I don't know. I mean, look at this is beautiful. This was beautiful. Dude, he flipped. Dude, we needed Indiana. We needed Dude, we needed all of these. Look at this. He beasted, dude. 312. Bro. Oh, dude. Illinois. They tried. I'm not mad at them. They tried. Just like, look at Oregon. Dude, I'm not mad at Oregon. Oregon tried too, for real. There's people that got to be in Oregon that are sick of all this shit. Oh my God. I don't listen. I just learned what I think I know what edging is. I'm not gonna say it on stream, but I think I learned what I think I learned. But like, look, it's just like it shows that some people pay attention. Yeah, that's true. I'm in California, live in the Central Valley, which is conservative. Yeah, I have a lot of friends in California that are conservative. My one buddy just voted for the first time ever this year.
How could a
He's
dictator
in
win the
Cali.
popular vote and take the Senate and probably the House? The answer is simple.
I think I know
They
what
lied
it
to you.
is. I know it has to
But
do with
Trump
something.
listened to you.
Because
They told you the border was secure, the economy was humming.
didn't Pickle gonna say he was gonna edge to Kamala Harris's picture? So I kind of got an idea from that of what it is. Okay, we're getting started.
And Joe Biden was an Olympic athlete, even though he couldn't stop falling down and forgetting his own name. If you had a problem,
edging is the practice. Hold on. Is that what that is, Ron?
problem with that,
Edging is the practice of engaging in sexual stimulation to the point of climax before stopping and starting again. Holy shit, I know what edging is now. That is fucking hilarious.
they censored you. And when they started losing, they called
Oh
you
my
fascist
God.
garbage who just needed a smack in the ass. The last
That
4
is
years,
so
we witnessed the Democrats
fucking
go
funny.
crazy. They loaded illegals into airplanes and flew them here. They emptied jails, made up genders, handed out free sex changes, and printed money like Zimbabwe. We all watched it happen. We didn't like it. Trump listened, said, I hear you, I get it, I'll fix it. It's not that complicated. We kept the faith
I
in the
guess
face
so.
of
That
last-minute
is
hoaxes. Remember, Kamala was going to
Blue
win
balls
Iowa.
on
A
purpose.
comedian made a joke about Puerto Rico. Oh, my God, it's over. Trump's tariffs are going to
Yo,
wreck
that
the
is
economy.
fucking
Really?
funny.
Because the market today had its best day in 2 years. Trump did better with Puerto Ricans and beat her by 13 in Iowa. The American people don't like being lied to.
Don't ask,
Trump even did
Kalisha.
better with women than Kamala did with men. Imagine that. Wives didn't have to lie to their husbands. The so-called racist dictator shattered records with blacks, Hispanics, Jews, and college students. His margin in Springfield, Ohio, where they're definitely not eating the pets, went up. Trump, Mr. Muslim ban, won Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan. The guy who they said hated Hispanics won Miami-Dade County. That's the first time a Republican pulled that off since Reagan.
Dude, he
And the
won
funniest part
Miami.
of the election, and we've had some moments, was that Biden would have done better than Harris if he hadn't gotten whacked.
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. One Democrat said, this is as bad as I've ever seen. This was a total and complete repudiation of the Democratic Party. People are not buying what we're selling, period. Just like that. Democrats watched
this?
the
I don't think-
Obama-Biden rainbow coalition evaporate.
No.
Not only did Trump defeat Kamala and Biden,
He smoked her.
defeated identity politics. DEI.
Yeah, I like that. Like a man, Vaughn. Let's go. Jose, accept his apology like a man.
Dead.
And then you guys touch tips and hug.
But the Reverend is skipping the funeral.
We've got to be honest, among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny. And I think that we've got to deal with the reality that he appealed to this whole false macho thing that some black men and some macho, Latino men went for.
The Democrats lied to you, and then they made you feel bad about yourself for not swallowing the lie. All Donald Trump did was listen and not write you off. Campaigning with a celebrity security blanket? What was it, Bruce, Beyonce, Oprah? Maybe not the best look when the country can't afford groceries and rent. Kamala met with Liz Cheney more than she met with her own sisters.
Yeah, her own
There are 9
sisters.
HBCUs in North Carolina. Do you know how many of them she visited? 1. Imagine if she'd been spending time doing that instead of hanging out with Liz Cheney in the Midwest. Could have been a different story tonight.
Kamala took blacks for granted, pandered to them, made Barack scold them. Same thing with Hispanics. Yeah, she didn't call them tacos like Jill.
What's
but
baddies?
you need more than J-Lo.
Look, Hispanic voters
Yeah.
are swing voters, and I think, you know, what's interesting here is the Republican Party treated them the same way they treated white working class voters. They courted them the same way they treated white working class voters. The Democratic Party has spent a lot of time treating it as an identity group, and I think we're starting to see them start to drift to the right.
Democrats were already having a problem with the white working class, and now they have a problem with the white, black, and brown working class. But black and brown people...
At Harbor Freight, we do business differently from the other guys. We design and test our own tools and sell them directly to you.
I love when
No
randoms
middleman.
start
Just
arguing.
Aren't the only
I love when I get randoms and we start talking shit. Like, I won't talk shit to them. They'll get mad at me and I'll just be nice as fuck to them. But, like, troll them in a funny ass way, dude, and they get so
ones getting
pissed.
scolded. White women got a tongue lashing too.
Like, do you guys remember the one time when we were playing with the random? He kept talking shit to me, I ended up getting more kills than him, and I won the game for us, and he was like my best friend. At the end, I kept telling him, like, you're coming with me, bitch, you're my new best friend.
Why do you think that uneducated white women voted against their reproductive health freedoms, and why do you think Latino men voted in favor of someone that's going to deport, says he's going to deport the majority of his community?
White women like being called uneducated white women. I think the economy matters, national security matters. But when you put people in these boxes, I think that's a takeaway from this race.
Abortion was supposed
Ha ha! She just gave you a little bit of truth because she knew it was the truth.
to make this
She's like, I don't want to get canceled once Trump comes back, because
the battle of the
so
sexes.
maybe I'll start telling the
didn't
truth a
happen.
little bit.
This election wasn't decided by race or gender.
Hold on, let me go let
It
my
was
dogs out, you
decided by
guys.
class. Trump won the working class, wherever they lived and whatever they looked like. That's the sweet spot of American political power. And the Democrats derided and deserted them, even though they're outnumbered by them. What a stupid strategy. You can't win over America if you hate Americans. And what the Democrats did, and it won't be forgiven for a while, they didn't even look like they cared.
You don't have to be intelligent to know you can't pay your bills. You don't have to be intelligent to know you can't afford groceries. People will forget what you did, they will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
The Democrats deluded themselves into believing they had the people behind them. And they were shocked when the votes came in.
I can tell you in conversations we've had with a series of individuals, including a Democrat who was attending a donor event that was taking place at one of the glitzy hotels not far from where we are here in Washington, D.C. They say the atmosphere there was like a funeral.
This victory restores the power to the people. The Republic had been preyed upon for far too long by a greedy ruling class more interested in control than their own countrymen. Any threat to their power, no matter how minor, was met with the full force of the machine. It worked during COVID, but it doesn't work anymore.
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves
Yeah,
this
let's
more
go,
than his
Dana.
family does.
I'm back.
This is what happens when the machine comes
Whoa.
after you. What you've seen over the last several years, this is what it looks like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hard worker.
I wish we could watch movies and stuff. That would be sweet.
You leave it or not, baby. At University of Phoenix.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Perino, along with Judge Janine Pirro, Jessica Tarlov, Jesse Waters, and Greg Gutfeld. It's 5 o'clock in New York City. I bet you're sick of seeing me. This is The Five. So it is being called the biggest political comeback in American history. President-elect Trump is on his way back to the White House. Earlier, he flipped Michigan, completing his sweep of the 3 blue wall states. And Trump is leading in other key battlegrounds that are still too close to call. Republicans are already set to take control of the Senate, and the Fox News Decision Desk estimates that the GOP has a slight edge in the House as well, as states continue to count ballots. Here's the president-elect speaking about his landslide victory.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. This is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good.
Wow, that's
and
good.
that will make a big difference. I have spoken a lot, so I'm going to give all of these lovely people who we want to hear from a chance to talk about the victory. Almost a red wave. You could call it, this is the red wave you've been waiting for?
That's what I predicted the last time. I was talking about this election.
Yeah, right. It was a slow roll to the wave.
So I spoke to my mom this morning,
How's she
and
doing?
she was very upset.
Okay.
And I told her, it's like the lyrics to that great song, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes if you try, you get what you need.
Oh, I love the Who.
Yeah. And the country needed Donald Trump back in office because the Democrats have gone crazy. Let's think about how crazy they were flying Venezuelans into the country and then just putting them in cities.
What? Yeah, because that technically she would be 47 because she. Oh, dude, that'd be fucking hilarious, Vaughn. That might make the Trump merge be even more expensive.
Now, when they started doing that, I started to think they are going to lose. They started making genders up and started putting windmills all over our beaches. They started printing money, giving it to Detroit. They'd open up factories in Mexico to build these stupid cars nobody wanted.
I think Biden voted for Trump.
They started emptying prisons. So you're looking at this stuff and they're going crazy. And then they're telling everybody everything's great. And Joe Biden's fine. Joe Biden's falling down. He can't remember where he is. And they weren't even good at the cover-up. Remember, you know, my daughter Gigi, when she hides, she goes like this. And she thinks you can't see her. That's how bad the cover-up was. Because it was just so blatant. And then they're telling you he's great. And then Donald Trump wins because he told the truth. And he listened to the American people.
That'd be hilarious.
It's not that hard. He listened, he told the truth, and they just lied. They said everything was great, border secure, you're doing fantastic, and people just got sick of it. He is now going to be president during some great times. He's going to be president during the 250th anniversary of this country.
That'll be a party.
He's going to be the president during the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles, the World Cup. So we're going to get everybody together. I hope we can get things straightened out for this country. And it's a good day. It's morning in America again. It was beautiful. It was sunny. And I spent a lot of time outdoors.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dana.
All right, let's go to Judge Janine.
Well, you know, they told us that he was unqualified to be president. And they tried to prove it over and over again by impeaching him and then indicting him and then convicting him. And by the way, did you notice in the last month, no Democrat has been saying, and he's been guilty. Well, he was found guilty of 34 felony counts. They knew that the American people didn't buy it. So in spite of all the things they threw at him,
what's up, Monica?
He won the popular vote, the electoral vote. And then they said, you know, he's
Look how tall Barron is, dude. Barron's 6'9", easily.
got to unify America. The way I saw
How you doing
it last
tonight, Monica?
night, when he came out on that stage, America was behind him. 77 million Americans were behind him. They were +7 in the blacks, +6 in the Hispanic community, +10 in the youth community, and +2 in women. These were people who believed in him in spite of everything that they threw against him. And, you know, Americans didn't feel at home in America. They were told that we have to have drag queen story hour for your children in school. And they were told that, you know, if your kids want to transition, you know, we don't really have to tell you about that. And by the way, everybody coming through that border, you know, we're vetting them when they weren't. And we had murders and rapes and sexual abuse because they didn't do their job. Forget about the fact that we're a sovereign nation. But when you open the doors, at least check out who they were. And it was over and over again, crimes being committed, letting them out of jail. And don't underestimate COVID. There was a COVID carryover in this vote. None of us forget what it was like when you couldn't go to church and you had to be 6 feet apart.
I don't know. He looks like
and
Trump.
We couldn't talk about it because they got
He
rid of our
looks so much like Trump, dude. Dude, he is Donald Trump's fucking clone. You're crazy for that one. That is legit Trump's kid. 1,000%.
It went on and on.
Nice. I'm glad he's
this
doing
was
better.
an America that said, we don't buy into it. I'm not into this privileged stuff. All my friends are.
Dude, if you don't think that that's Trump's kid, you're fucking crazy.
Black and Hispanic, and my family is this color and that color. We don't see race the way they did. And they voted for that man.
Big time.
That
In 2020,
kid,
Biden
dude,
said,
Barron looks
I'm
just
the normal
like
candidate,
Trump.
like return to normal. And in a way, I feel like Donald Trump did that this time because the left had gone so far left. You said we can return to some common sense policies.
No, what's the fake Melania?
Here, and he won so big in the Electoral College and the popular vote that now the Democrats don't know what to complain about.
It's a good point. You know, they went from a Diddy party to a pity party.
Ooh.
I don't know if I could watch
You're
Stephen
absolutely
Colbert.
right. What's great about last night is that it was.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could
wins,
watch Stephen Colbert on my
Be happy that it
on
was
here.
kind of resolute and it was quick. There's really no gray area here, either, you know, where either side can call out one thing or another. The American people went from wanting something to deciding something. There wasn't, and I'm not sure if this is working. I'm not sure what I want to do. It was, we know it's time. We have to do something. And you guys mentioned all the reasons why. But it is like leaving a bad relationship. People take years to get out of a bad relationship. They make excuses for it, and they go like, I don't know if I should go, and you want to go, but you don't. But then there's that time when you decide and you say, this is it. And I think that was what was going on last night. I felt like it was like, that's why today, when you're walking around, it's so calm outside.
It's so quiet. Yeah.
It's really quiet because, you know, sometimes a really solid loss is good for you because then you yourself can move on. It's why I was grateful Trump went in campaign to New York just to get more votes. You may not get the electoral college, but you got maybe a couple 100,000 votes. I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I love how the media hacks are saying how the history will look back at this moment to make sense of this night. And their favorite phrase is, books will be written. Books will, no, you're not getting out of it that easily.
I don't know what that looks
You're
like.
not going to leave it to the historians or just hacks like you, but 30 years later. You have to self-reflect now, or you will never learn. Totally get it. You're welcome. I did it. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Well, I don't know if you've heard, but Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. Causing Joe Biden to ask who was number 46. The election was such a blowout, it sent shockwaves across Democratic strongholds all over. Bill Clinton is so distraught, he's flying his erection at half-mast. Hunter Biden was so shocked, he dropped both of his hookers. Jimmy Carter heard the news and said, "You kept me alive for this?" Jerry Nadler was so angry, he announced that he'll no longer be giving a courtesy flush. Doug Emhoff is so upset, he's now hitting on the ugly nannies.
Great.
Ugh. After the election, Ilhan Omar was in such a state, she told her brother, "Not tonight, I have a headache." This morning, The View stomped their feet so hard they threw a shoe. Nancy Pelosi was so enraged by Trump's
Bro, she started crying.
victory, her eyebrows moved to Canada.
Yo, I can't stand her.
The news was so bad, Randy Weingarten has yet to come out of her toadstool. Admiral Rachel Levine is so defeated, she's announced she's taking a leave
What is this dude doing?
of absence to spend more time with her testicles. Hillary Clinton was so depressed, she actually considered killing herself for a change.
This is amazing.
Taylor Swift cried all night, which dropped her from a 6 to a 4. Mark Cuban's so despondent, he paused his transition into Rachel Maddow.
Yes. Yes. This is fucking hilarious. That is so fucking spot on.
James Carville is so miserable he could barely unhinge his jaw to eat his morning mouse. The outcome left Barack Obama so bitter he vowed to move back to Kenya. And finally, Michelle was so embarrassed she changed her name back to Mike.
Yeah.
Live by the hoaxes. So it's true, Kamala Harris got shellacked like a hardwood floor on this old house.
That's hilarious.
And instead of an evening concession speech, she avoided her supporters like Hunter Biden dodging child support. For the first time, she wasn't laughing. Although you got to admit, this is pretty hilarious. Watch.
Are there any places where Kamala Harris overperformed from where Biden did?
So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming 2020.
Holy smokes.
So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
By 3% or more.
He did it that way.
This is called a mandate. He won the popular vote by over 5 million. That can't be explained away. The Dems can't give their usual excuses with more buts than a Kardashian family reunion. And so there will be changes.
So
Shoplifters may actually have to pay for stuff. Migrant gangs might have to get a new realtor. The will probably be institutionalized.
Maybe.
But there's a larger question. Did Trump do this by the strength of his personality alone? Or has America changed and Trump's just the first to call it like it is? I mean, he did that with the media, the same collection of hacks who told us fairy tales about how close this was all going to be, and how abortion would send the evil orange man packing, and how the polls were going to be honest this time. Turns out they had the accuracy of Stevie Wonder playing Jenga. Truth is, so cheap. The truth is, Musk and Joe Rogan and a few other podcasts did more to get the word out on this election than all the legacy media combined. It's amazing. Tells you one thing, legacy media is dead. It is. I only hope.
Listen, I feel like Gutfeld and them, they could just go do their own show if they wanted to, just like Tucker Carlson does. Or he could just go do his own show by himself. Tyrus already does his own. his own show.
I only hope that if Brian Stelter jumps from a window, it's from the first floor so he won't crush dozens of pedestrians. But there's another group that's over, too. It's Hollywood, all the virtue signaling from the Anistons and the Clooneys. It didn't mean a thing. All that Botox must have paralyzed their brains into believing it matters what they think. Sorry.
I just don't understand why the...
Sorry, douchebags. You're just hairless circus bears here to entertain us.
Fuck on Eminem.
The other message, identity politics is dead. DEI-DOA. Enough with dividing Americans into absurd categories that only matter to self-obsessed people with more pronouns than friends. The truth is, Americans of all stripes want the same things: prosperity, safety, a president who doesn't smell like an outhouse. It's why Trump won record numbers of Hispanics and black voters. But he also won a whole bunch of different people. What else could appeal to both black men and Amish voters? Well, that list is Trump and common sense and fat asses. Now, Trump didn't do this alone. Talk about unsung heroes. Scott Pressler drove his jalopy into the ground, getting out the vote to flip Pennsylvania. That's right, a gay man who helped convince the Amish to put down their butter churners and get to the polls and vote for Trump. That's a movie Hollywood should make.
I love Tucker.
But they won't.
That's my uncle. Don't talk about Uncle Tucker like that, Vine. I'll have him put you in fucking timeout for 5 minutes. They're pretty good. No, I'm just saying, if the media, like mainstream media, ever died and they went off and did their own thing, they'd still be fine.
J.D. Vance, who Russ Belters recognized as one of their own, Barron Trump, all 8 feet 11 inches of him, who advised his dad on podcasts, and of course Musk and Rogan, whose dedication to the free exchange of ideas scares the hell out of liars who only talk in sound bites. And don't forget Peanut the squirrel, who did not die in vain. But perhaps the biggest, but perhaps the biggest unsung hero, Kamala Harris. She was Trump's secret weapon, proving that you cannot win by identity alone. You need ideas, a vision of a better life, brains. You can't just tell us how deplorable we are, laugh like a lunatic, and then rush home to make sure Doug's not tapping the nanny again like a keg of Bud Light. Because whether you like Trump's policies or not, at least he had some. So will the media learn anything from this? Will the Dems? Of course not. Expect to be told how sexist and racist you are for the next 4 years. But it won't work, because by now our collective skin is tougher than a $2 steak. After all, the opposition called Trump a fascist and a Nazi. They shot him. They told us he was a threat to democracy. The coastal elite in the Obamas, Clintons, and Bidens told us no decent person would vote for him. And yet he caused a landslide bigger than the cast of The View on a snowboarding trip.
Yeah. It's true.
That's why last night's reckoning signals something bigger even than Trump. You can see it in the faces of those who voted for him and those who didn't. The American people went from wanting to deciding, and that decision is now reflected in the calm that you sense right now. We may not get this country back on its feet tomorrow, but we're well on our way. Tonight's guest, he can predict the race and take a kick to the face. Fox's contributor Charlie Hurd. Oh, wow, no clapping for you. He brought a roll of Charmin into the voting booth. Founder of StudioTST.com, Michael Loftus. She's got a baby bump that's due under Trump. New York Times bestselling author, Fox's contributor.
She's pretty. I seen that. I seen this one. Yeah, I'm gonna do a reaction video too.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
I hope this person knows that this will make more people vote for whoever is going to make her do this next time.
I hate to be the person that gets on here and cries. But this this could break me and my parents apart because they just don't understand what they voted for and like what.
This is the problem. You think they don't understand. Yes, they do. They do.
What it means.
She doesn't understand.
The bigotry and hatred that they stand behind, and how I am trying to be a good person.
This is the problem, is these people look at everything through a moral lens. Average people don't care about that. Why do you think we had lynchings? Why do you think Aztecs cut people's hearts out and rolled their corpse down the stairs? They burned Joan of Arc alive. This whole idea that all of these things, like all of this stuff, it's moral. Like, this isn't the way people are. They've never been like this, and they never will be. Nobody cares about the morality, about being a good person. That's crazy. It's stupid. Like, it's so delusional.
I'm not Catholic like they are, which is ironic because it's religion's supposed to make you love. But I could see it
religion is supposed to make you love. Really? I can think of a few exceptions to that.
Breaking me and my parents apart because they just don't get it, and they don't get that they voted for someone who's gonna make my friends' lives hell. My life's okay. I'm a white woman, but my friends are
I saw
not.
this part, yeah. Yep. That's the way it is. By the way, I went to the gas station today. There were two guys, both of them were non-white, that were hyping each other up about the fact that Trump won.
Yeah.
They were like right next to the counter, and they're like, yeah, bro, and then so we're gonna take away all the women's rights. He's like, what, really, bro? Yeah, dude, he said that.
And we begin our final sprint, having arrived at that point in the election season where basically we on this side of the TV screen have said all we can. We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election, where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial.
Again, look at Benito Mussolini. There's plenty examples of people that will immediately vote for a fascist option because it's better than the current option or what they think their current life is. It's amazing to me that this is even something that they don't understand.
A regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy.
Yeah.
But also, white ruled South Africa before Mandela and the black majority took control, or Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, or Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela today, that suppresses the rights of women and minorities, uses the military to execute the whims of a strongman dictator, and controls and suppresses the press, education, the arts, rewrites history to suit a favored and dominant racial class, and foments extravagant corruption in order to enrich.
Has it ever occurred to you that maybe history has been rewritten for you to think that fascism lost, but in fact, in some cases, it ended up winning? But the people that were in charge wrote it as if they lost.
I just want to show you guys that. I will in 1 second. Look at this. He's not even in office yet. And look at this.
Lost, and they gave it a one every time. What are the odds?
Yeah.
Rich the dictator.
He said
and his
summary.
friends.
Man.
Love you guys.
If this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone else.
Of course they would be happy. Why wouldn't they be happy?
Everyone who feels threatened by him is fucking scared. We're scared for our lives.
Well, here's the thing, right? Is that so if a guy had said this, if Kamala Harris had won, and a guy had made a video saying the exact same things, everybody would be clowning on him and saying he's retarded. This woman would probably be laughing at him and saying, "Cry about it, pussy." And I think that everybody knows this is true. And this is why the support has gone away.
For our friends, like,
Yeah.
you have pro-life women dying because their doctors are scared to treat them.
Yep.
Because of the repercussions of his last presidency. How did we get here?
It's simple. People don't care that much about abortion. It's pretty simple. They care more about being able to afford food than have abortions. Duh. I mean,
Yeah,
like, it's
my
fucking
dogs.
obvious.
How did
Love
we
you
get
guys.
here?
My
know that
kids are
there's
the
that much
greatest.
ignorance and that much hate in this country.
She's
It's
losing
so
it.
terrifying. It's so terrifying.
Like, legit, though, who gives a fuck about your abortion? We want to be able to afford to go to a fucking grocery store on a regular basis and eat normal.
How could you do this? How can you claim to be a Christian or anyone of moral values and support someone when every word out of his mouth is hate, when he wants to pardon people who took over the Capitol? You do not
I can't wait till they're all pardoned.
do this to people
That's
that
right.
you love and care about. If you have a
Don't
woman
ever
in your
talk to
life,
me
if you
like
have
that. I'll have
an LGBTQ person in
They cannot
Ever.
stop talking about identity. That's the only thing that they can think of. They think about everything from that perspective. Like, it always goes back to identity. Every single time.
your life, if you have anyone in your life who's not white. How did we get here? Someone tell me, please. Someone really
Definitely.
tell me, please.
I don't
The only
agree
way
with
I see
it.
it is that, like, either
just
he
me, though.
cheated and that was his secret, or this country is built on so much.
Like, I don't agree with it, but I don't judge people because at the end of the day, I don't have to answer to God for anybody else. I think it's wrong. If I ever vote, I'd vote against it. But it's, I don't know.
Much hate, and we might never get out of this. If you voted for him, you are dead to me. Go ahead and block me. I don't give a shit. I really don't. I really don't.
Yep. Yep. Today has been rough for a lot of people. Check on your Democrat friends. Because a lot of them are not taking this well. And I don't just mean text them. Actually go to their wife's boyfriend's house and see how they're doing.
This is great.
Little compilation I found. All right, here we go. Let's see it.
What did he write? I want to know what he's searching.
Fucking orange pumpkin, you just cost me one of the most important people in my life, my dad. Donald Trump, I hate you.
Hey, it's on you.
You will never be president.
The best part is YMCA playing in the background.
Okay.
You don't get that they voted for someone who's
That's
gonna
hilarious.
make my friends' lives hell.
Why would they care about your friends? You stupid ass. You fucking moron.
Yeah, like,
why
we
would
don't-
they care about your friends? You don't even care about them. It's just... Oh, God.
My life's okay. I'm a white woman. But
My life's okay. I'm a white woman. Okay.
Oh, you might remember Trump said he's going to put all of the minorities in jail. This is going to happen after he takes office. Yeah, they're all just going to jail.
I'm a white woman.
Forever. And also people that are gay.
What's wrong with
And
these
women.
people?
Trump's actually gonna win this fucking thing. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm so pissed off. Fuck.
Yeah!
Fuck. God damn it. I can't believe Trump's actually gonna win this fucking thing.
Oh my god.
I'm scared of going
Fucking boogie.
What?
I might wake up a motherfucking play.
Fuck.
Did she just say what I think she said?
I might wake up a slave.
Motherfucking play. I'm scared of going to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking play.
Man.
Y'all, like, why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why?
Man. What?
Yeah. How is he killing you? You're gonna have to find out.
Go from hysterically crying 1 minute over the pain of this situation.
Yeah.
Hysterically
I'm
crying.
done.
Having a complete. What do you guys think? Panic attack?
I want to know what he
mental
searched.
health episode. I mean, we don't know what the bottom of this is, but we can pretty well guess, huh?
Minute, watching so many people come together and women I go from hysterically crying.
And this is, I said this before, women, like abortion is, yes, it's a gender issue, but if you look at the divide, it's actually a political issue. I'm fairly certain that at least a large amount.
Yeah, let's see if we can find around. So.
I'm pissed off. Fuck! 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 I can't believe Trump's actually gonna win this fucking thing. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm so pissed off. Fuck! Fuck! God damn
it!
Yo, so Donald Trump just won the U.S. presidency.
Really?
How does the Taliban feel about that?
Hard to tell for the moment. At the moment, let's see what happens.
You don't think Daddy Trump is gonna do good for the whole world?
He's gonna do good for America, bro.
As regards to for the economy of the United States, it'd be good for the economy, right?
Only things about.
But at the end of the day,
money printer go.
All...
But it is better than a woman winning, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day.
What the fuck? Where's the fucking funny ones?
Day after day, seems like I push against the clouds. Keep
what is going on? Why? Dude, I just want the funny ones. Are you awake, kiddo? Yes. Did the Hessel win? Yes. No, asshole. What the fuck, dude? Is that what to type in? So, liberal. That's the one we watched earlier.
How did we get here?
What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is how fucking dare you?
Oh, I'm gonna do a reaction video.
If you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
What the fuck? What is going on? Oh my God.
It's not gonna happen. Go, Kamala. Returning to the Senate.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
What was that?
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done.
What is this? This thing scares me. Look at it. I'm fucking scared.
I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
I'm sorry. Wait, let's go back. I want to see that.
All of this.
What the fuck? Hannibal Lecter. That thing was fucking scary. Yo, this chick is salty.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters. I don't understand how scared of this man I am. If this guy does end up winning again, all of the people who voted for him will be like happy and they'll just be celebrating. And everyone else, everyone who feels threatened by him is like scared. Like we're scared for our lives. We're scared for our friends.
How dare you put this man into office for another 4 years, knowing damn well what it means for our country, what it means as a people.
To know that there is that much ignorance and that much hate in this country, it's so terrifying. It's so terrifying.
How the fuck are we back in this same situation?
Oh, that doesn't sound hateful right there, though, right? It just sounds so loving.
Again. Who the fuck is voting for him? Genuinely.
Fuck you. I don't want to hear about how shitty your life gets under his policies.
Love it.
Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable.
We shall.
Fuck you.
Love you. We love you, girl.
We may not have rights tomorrow.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Why does she say this? Who told her that? What the fuck? I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep.
Oh, man.
I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Why?
Anyone else having a meltdown? I don't know how to do this. Right now, I'm just not.
Alright, so I unlocked the page. Here's the one lady. We've seen her earlier. What the fuck? I want to like you.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad? I'm sorry. No! I'm sorry. No! Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
This is like a special kind of crazy. Dude. What the fuck is that? How? This is, oh, okay. That's what we've seen, that one. Oh, this is a longer version. Where is she at? I miss her. We fucking... Do you hate me that bad? That shit is so funny. Dude, where is she? Come home. We need you. Is this all her? Oh, hey, look. We found a 47-second one of her.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave.
Disney Plus.
Y'all, like, why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why?
This is a fraud.
Why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why is this a thing right now? Why is this okay?
This is hilarious.
I can't do this no more. I should have kept my vote to myself because I knew it didn't fucking matter. I knew it didn't. Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep.
Oh my God. Literal liberal meltdown in real time. Okay, that's a little.
And cries.
Okay, we've seen her earlier.
I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she was installed, not elected. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she is a weak leader. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she can't articulate a vision for America. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she is extremely negative. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she doesn't seem particularly intelligent. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris because she was installed, not
This is some yeah, this is Hillary's campaign. Yeah, very. A lot of them were. This is Hillary's campaign. I wonder why. Okay.
This is not okay. This
Here,
this,
look. This thing has a full hunt. This thing has a
not
full
okay.
hunt.
This
Bro, somebody needs to check on this kid in like 2 or 3 days.
simply will not do. And
I don't know what this dude's fucking problem is.
this is not okay, and I'm not good with this. This is sick.
Does he think he sounds sane to where he can be calling anyone sick? Does he sound sane at all? Like, what is going on? This is what's wrong with this society we live in.
Sick. That should not be there. And it's wrong, and you're wrong, and everything is wrong.
Everything's wrong.
It's not even my house. You just bought it for me, and I don't want it.
What did he just say?
How long can this?
What the front door is this kid talking about? This girl hold on. This girl literally made a minute-long TikTok laying in her bed to rant about Donald Trump winning the election.
This can't be real.
What is she saying? If I were to fucking try and subtitle that, I would just write question marks as what the fuck?
This can't be real.
Okay, this can't be real.
This can't be real.
Okay, I understood at that time. I guess it maybe just took me one time. Yo, what up, Morbid? I guess it took me one time to understand what she was saying.
I'm sorry to all my friends who are Trump supporters. But you don't understand how scared of this man I am. And I don't say a word to y'all because
That's so
I try
weird.
to keep politics out of my friendships because
It's
I don't
so
want
weird.
my beliefs and your beliefs to
So
mess up
weird.
our friendship because that's something different.
These seem like fake tears for real. These seem like crocodile tears.
This man scares the shit out of me and now he's fucking president.
Yeah, welcome back. Say welcome back, sir.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the chicks. You guys want to hear the compilation? He's pissed. She's salty for real. It's so great. Huh. I'm pretty sure he watched basically, yeah, all those. Let's see what he has to say about Chink.
Watch crying men. Let's see this one here.
These Democratic leaders are simpletons. They're servants of the donor class. So they go in there.
By the way, I really like this guy. Like Cenk Uygur, like I've watched the Young Turks for like 15 years almost. I think that like he actually has, like they kicked him off a mainstream like media place because he wouldn't basically play ball. Even though he had really great ratings.
And Tyler,
this happened over 10 years ago. I'm not saying all of his opinions are accurate or I agree with everything he's saying, but there were a lot of times where he was one of the only people that were in the, you know, the Democratic Party and like the Democratic like platform that were calling out internal bad behavior.
A donor, give me money, please. And right here, I made an ad. Yeah. I'm Kamala Harris. I'm full of joy. Okay, well, what did that get you? And they say, oh, Jake, you're too angry. Too angry? What? You think, does Donald Trump look like he's kind? Does he look like he's in a good mood? I mean, no, people want some sort of reaction from their politicians. They want them to represent them, to fight for them. But that has never occurred to a Democrat outside of Bernie Sanders, and probably we never will. So
that's true. That's very true. And again, keep in mind, I think they rigged it against Bernie. I do. I think they rigged it against him.
Yeah, they wanted to install Hillary.
There's no, I have no interest in listening to a single Democratic politician ever again.
Thank you.
They can go kiss my ass. They can do whatever they want. And we never listen to them anyway. And they hate us because we're right and they're wrong. They're always wrong.
We're not always right either. He's not always right either, chat. He's 90% of the time
He's fucking right.
Nah, he's not
completely fucking right.
He might be right about the Democratic Party,
and he hates us for being right. Okay, so but
well, he's right about. He's right about the Democratic Party, 1,000%.
Told you this. He has some really good points.
No,
you have to beat him in a primary. That's your only hope. And so if you say it's super hard to beat him in a primary because of the lying sons of bitches on mainstream media who will smear you to no end.
He's right about the Democratic Party, but he's wrong about a lot of stuff.
Who will fight harder.
Remember, they did this with Bernie, and they did it with Ron Paul. They did it with, they tried so hard to do it to Trump. They tried so hard to do this to Trump. They did it to RFK. Well, RFK never really got into, like, the primary, I would say, but, like, yeah.
Against progressives and populists, then Republicans or Donald Trump or anyone else, well, brothers and sisters, nobody said life was fair. So we got to go fight that mainstream media. We got to destroy that mainstream media that is filled with lies on top of lies about how the politicians are so honest and the donors have no control over policy. They have 100% control over policy. Everyone in mainstream media is a liar who goes, oh, well, here's a bill. Well, I'm not going to talk about the donors.
You know what's so good about this? Has he mentioned at all so far black people? No. These are the actual reasons. Not yet. I'm sure he might mention it offhandedly, but you can see how the focus is totally different.
At all. I think they're having an ideological debate. Oh, look at that. The donor class won the ideological debate again, but I won't call them the donor class. I won't tell you that it's corporate Republicans and corporate Democrats that are playing good cop and bad cop against you the entire time.
Do you remember when in 2016, one of the chairs of the Democratic National Party was basically under investigation, and there was a huge scandal about like basically foul play with Bernie Sanders in the primary, and then she ended up resigning, and then she started working for Hillary Clinton's campaign a week later. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Yeah, that was her. Remember that? That was crazy, huh? How about that? That was crazy. You just, yeah, that's, wow. Wow.
I could watch Cenk myself.
So we got to go fight that mainstream media. We got to destroy that mainstream media. That is filled with lies on top of lies about how the politicians are so honest and the donors have no control over policy. They have 100% control over policy. Everyone in mainstream media is a liar who goes, oh, well, here's a bill. Well, I'm not going to talk about the donors at all. Oh, I think they're having an ideological debate. Oh, look at that. The donor class won the ideological debate again, but I won't call them the donor class.
We'll just watch
I won't tell you that it's corporate Republicans and corporate Democrats that are playing good cop and bad cop against you the entire time. So these Democratic leaders are the most useless people on earth. If they're not all fired, the Democratic Party is out of its mind. So as the voters, you have to understand, those guys have a vested interest in protecting their own ass and protecting their money and their privilege and their status. You need to fire them. They're not going to fire themselves. You think Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, Kamala Harris, and all these people go, oh yeah, I got Jamie Harrison and Dancy. Oh yeah, I guess we were the problem. You think the Democratic consultant class that have been robbing you blind this entire time is going to go, oh, I guess we were the problem.
Here's the thing. He still supports the Democratic Party.
No, you have to fire them. So the next time that some son of a bitch on MSNBC or in the Democratic Party tells you, oh no, be a good boy and girl, be civil, and vote for Democratic leaders. They know what they're doing. Those are the same goddamn liars that told you that Joe Biden was totally fine.
What's up, David?
That he was young.
Hey, you're the one that put me hip to him, bro, and I love it, bro. So great.
And he was dynamic behind the scenes, and it wasn't a problem at all. At that point, he was down 8 points nationally. He was getting slaughtered. He was down by 18 in Iowa, and I could go on and on. They've been lying to you the whole time. If you're on the left, you're a Democratic voter. Wakey, wakey. I need to wake you up out of the hypnosis that you're in, that Morning Joe and The View and all of mainstream media has put you in. They're lying to you. Why do you think they keep losing? Do you think they keep telling you how smart they are and how they're going to deliver you victories? And all they ever do is deliver loss after loss after loss. So Democratic voters, snap out of it.
Too big to
These
rig.
guys are obvious liars. Fire them all. Fire them all. And if
Get him, chunky yogurt.
Then keep losing to buffoons, to obvious con men like Donald Trump. Keep losing and losing.
Oh, obvious con men like Donald Trump. You have to just throw his name in. You can't just attack the people that you're attacking without bringing up Trump. This is why he has TDS, and it's bad. Yes, sir.
And losing and never figuring it out. Here, I solved it for you. I figured it out.
Bro, did you see that they're already calling, like Putin already wants to call for peace with Ukraine?
It's a goddamn corruption. All the stupid donor money, all it's ever done is lead to more losses. So if you don't fire them, you have no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah.
Be the golden age of America.
Back to Moscow, back.
This will truly be the golden age of America.
Yes,
it was
sir.
a complete tsunami, just a total.
And Palestine,
like
about to call for ceasefire.
and the establishment loses every time.
I know you're not supposed to say it, Piers, but we told you so.
You cannot tell me there's an establishment in the Republican Party. There simply isn't. There hasn't been for a very long time. I'll stop laughing. It's annoying.
I honestly urge liberals, wake the hell up.
This is a completely different election. We've entered into a different world right now.
He's the king. He's the king of marketing and branding.
Look, I believe Trump's an existential threat to our democracy.
It's like the night of the living dead in California. They're just walking around going, brains.
Wow, what a night here in the United States. President Trump is back as president of the United States, and even his most embittered opponents are today reckoning with what is unequivocally the greatest comeback in political history. It now feels like a red mirage, but a few short years ago, it was the Republicans who wanted to turn the page. Governor Ron DeSantis was the great new hope. He was Trump without Trump's baggage, and the baggage just kept piling up. But after the failed succession, the legal barrage, the mugshot, the shock ousting of his opponent, and the 2 attempts on his life, this morning, the 45th president addressed the nation as the 47th president-elect.
And every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you.
I do too. He's still a little bit, you know, liberal-ish, but he's cool.
I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and
He
prosperous
calls it,
America
for the
that
most
our
part, down
children
the middle, but
deserve and that you
he still has his emotional times where it's like, all right, bro, just shut up.
deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America.
More than ever before, voters chose between two starkly different visions for America after being presented with what felt like two very different versions of reality. Well, they've chosen emphatically. Trump is on course to win the presidency, the Senate, possibly the House of Representatives, and even the popular vote. The first Republican to do that, if he does, since George W. Bush in 2004. He single-handedly knocked U.S. politics from its axis. America has defied the mantra that demography is destiny, and the Democrats have serious lessons to learn from this dismal failure. So far, they're in denial.
Let's be honest about this, okay? Let's be absolutely blunt about it. There were appeals to racism in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country. And anybody who thinks that that did not in any way impact on the outcome of this race is wrong.
Funny that, because I seem to remember it was Barack Obama who told black Americans they should vote for the black candidate because of her skin color. What's that, if that's not a form of racism? Well, the reality is that Trump made huge inroads with black voters and wasn't deserted by women. He's built an anti-establishment coalition with the voters now fleeing the Democrats, Latinos, the Rust Belt hard hats, the Joe Rogan bros. The last Democrat leader who commanded the affection of all those groups was Bernie Sanders. We all remember what the DNC machine did to him. That's another key point here.
Cenk is so funny because he gets so pissed. It is also the Democrats'
defeat to own. The gaslighting industrial complex that told us Joe Biden was razor sharp and infallible until that debate when the whole world could see he was senile and they decided he couldn't win. Then they told us that Kamala Harris was joy and hope personified, even as the polls told us she was the least popular vice president in living memory. They kept telling us Trump was Hitler. His supporters were garbage as he campaigned for a strong border and a strong economy while gleefully slinging fries at McDonald's or driving a garbage truck. They relied on celebrities and the legacy media, even as every metric showed us that nobody cares anymore what they all have to say. Trump's first victory changed the United States and changed the world. Well, buckle up, because today, this even bigger victory will change everything. Well, joining me now is the co-host of Breaking Point's Crystal Ball, host and founder of the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, Vincent Ashana from the PBD podcast, and Republican Texas Congressman and former Navy SEAL, Dan Crenshaw. Well, welcome to all of you. Crystal Ball, I had you on the show recently, and you declared that Kamala Harris would win all 7 swing states. It would seem your crystal ball, if you don't mind me saying this, is a little cracked because Trump has currently won 4 of the 7 and leading in the other 3. Your response?
Yeah, no doubt about it. What I got wrong in this election is that I thought, even though
I thought it was Brett Summer.
I've been critiquing the Democratic Party, you know, certainly since the Bernie Sanders movement. I
He's
thought
not
that
bad.
January
He just
6th
says some shit.
and the overturning of Roe versus Wade and Trump's manifestly authoritarian tendencies, as evidenced by the people who were closest with him in the White House, I thought it would be enough to overcome those problems on the Democratic side. And I was absolutely dead wrong. So a couple of problems specifically with Kamala's campaign. I think there was way too much spending time with Liz Cheney, spending time with Mark Cuban, way too little time spending time with Bernie Sanders, spending time with Sean Fain, who's the president of the UAW. And in general, Pierre, something I agreed with from your intro is the last guy who did the best with the coalition that is fleeing the Democratic Party right now is Bernie Sanders. And Democrats did everything they possibly could to block him from not only ascending to, be the Democratic nominee, but to block him from having any significant influence in the party. He offered a competing vision that could actually combat the fascism that you see with Donald Trump. Just talking about fascism, talking about how bad Donald Trump is clearly not enough to get the job done. And so we have the results that we have.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Crenshaw, I spoke to President Trump this morning, just rang him on his phone, and to my surprise, he picked up. And I think even he was a bit taken aback by the sheer scale of this victory. I mean, it's not now beyond the realms of fantasy that he could win the White House, the Republicans win the Senate, they win the House of Representatives, and he may end up winning the popular vote as well as Electoral College. An absolute clean sweep. And you can only conclude from that this is an utter repudiation of all the attack lines that his opponents have been trying on him for the past year. And I would include in that the weaponization of the legal system against Trump, the attempts to take his life from 2 assassination attempts and so on. You put it all together, and this is a gigantic 2 fingers from the American electorate to those who said Trump can't be president again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It surprised a lot of us. Look, if you've been asking me for predictions for a while now, and I've said every single time, if you make me make a prediction, I'm going to say it's a clean sweep, but it's close. And turns out, I was right, but I was also wrong. I mean, I didn't think he was going to win every swing state, and now he's looking like he's going to win every swing state. Looks like we're probably going to have a majority of about 7 in the House. A small improvement over.
You guys ever see Alex Stein troll
the
him?
Senate's looking way better than we thought it was going to look. I'm actually like, I'm so frustrated with ourselves because we should have 2 Republican seats in Arizona. We should have 2 Republican seats in Georgia. That would put us at 60 votes. We would have a real majority for the first time in, maybe ever. It really is something. And just responding to what Crystal said, I just think it's funny because my greatest fear as a Republican is that when we lose, we learn the wrong lessons. And the wrong lessons as a Republican, speaking just as a Republican, she can have her opinions as a Democrat, but my fears have always been that when we lose, we all get together, we do an internal firing squad, and we say it's because we weren't right-wing enough, and we alienated our rightest of the right voters. That is the wrong message. Because the way we won this time and the way we keep majorities in the House, it's those majority makers, it's those moderates, Trump won women and white women in this election. He did massive improvements in the Latino and black voters. You don't do that by running to the right. You do that by constantly hitting the same message about the economy and immigration and just this common sense stuff that people are really worried about. And so, look, don't get me wrong, I kind of hope Democrats learn the wrong lessons here because I'd like to keep winning. But
yeah,
I'm curious for her to unpack that a little bit more because it doesn't make sense to me. When Democrats were crushing it, really quick, when Democrats were crushing Republicans was in the 90s. That was in the 90s, and they were a very different party back then. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, well, the world was very different, and neoliberalism was absolutely ascendant there then. Now we're in a post-neoliberal world. And so what I'm not talking about a shift to the left. I'm talking about a shift top versus bottom. Trump has his version of fake populism. He's got his villains. He's got his scapegoats, immigrants, cultural elites. Bernie Sanders, when he ran in the Occupy movement, when they were ascendant, talked about the 1%, talked about the millionaires and billionaires, talked about corporate greed, talked about unfettered capitalism. That's.
We're going to do something really quick. I mean, do I have to say anything else? Can you guys? Yeah, let's see. Make sure you guys can read that. Do I have to say anything else? I mean, what? I don't get it. Like these people can be such fucking hypocrites, and it's weird. I don't get it, bro. I don't understand. Hold on. He owns multiple homes. This is Bernie Sanders has 3 houses. This is his house. Ain't that funny? This is the same person she's talking
It's
about.
the shift that I'm talking about, and we know that it was effective.
When Democrats were crushing Republicans was in the 90s. That was in the 90s, and they were a very different party back then. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, well, the world was very different, and neoliberalism was absolutely ascendant there then. Now we're in a post-neoliberal world, and so what I'm not talking about a shift to the left. I'm talking about a shift top versus bottom. You know, Trump has his version of fake populism. He's got his villains. He's got his scapegoats, immigrants, cultural elites. Bernie Sanders, when he ran in the Occupy movement, when they were ascendant, talked about the 1%, talked about the millionaires and billionaires, talked about corporate greed, talked about unfettered capitalism. That's the shift that I'm talking about, and we know that it was effective because that Bernie to Trump pipeline, that was real.
Don't get it.
People who were voting for Bernie Sanders, who were Latinos, who were working class, who were Joe Rogan bros, who were Joe Rogan himself, have now, when faced with the choice between Trumpism and neoliberalism, chosen Trumpism. When faced with the choice between Trumpism and Bernie Sanders left populism, chose left populism every time.
Okay, let me bring in Cenk, because Cenk, I'm going to be honest with you.
I get that analysis. I get that analysis a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah, Cenk, I woke up this morning and I actually thought of you. I felt sorry for you, because I thought, how on earth are you going to come on my show now, given the sheer scale of this devastating victory and devastating defeat for the Democrats? I mean, it is hard to imagine a worse morning to be Cenk Uygur. So, how are you?
I'm great. I come on your show with the same swagger I always do. So the reality, Piers, is unfortunately I was right all along. I told you that Joe Biden was feeble and ridiculous. And I told you they should have done a real convention and a real primary, and they didn't do it. They should have picked their strongest candidate. Now, look, Crystal's 100% right. And I need everybody to understand this is the most important fact about politics today in America. It is not left versus right. That is an old way of thinking. It is populist versus establishment. And the establishment loses every time now. And the reason that they can't see it is because everyone on TV, everyone in the Democratic leadership is the establishment. So they can't look at themselves in the mirror and go, oh, it turns out people hate me. They need to go in a populist direction. It is super obvious. They'll probably never see it. Next time around, the main thing is we've got to reach the Democratic voters, go around mainstream media who lie.
Here's what doesn't make sense to me about this dude, right? You're sitting here saying that the Democratic Party is basically the party of the government and not of the people. But yeah, you're pushing for people to go out and vote for Democrats. I don't understand what the fuck his problem is.
I to them 24/7. Right now, this morning, they're doing copium on MSNBC, talking about how white women ruined this for them or different demographic groups didn't show up. It's absurd. It's absurd.
I don't
you
get
lost
it.
because you're a bunch of elitists and you don't even realize it.
But I would also say, Cenk, and I'm sorry to single you out, but you are the person here who's done a lot of this on my show. I do think the constant over-demonization of Trump, when people were calling him a fascist, a neo-Nazi,
Yeah,
a new Hitler.
it made him look
I kept
stronger.
warning people on the left, this is going to backfire. Most average Americans do not think Trump is the new Hitler. They did not see in his first term of office a fascist at work. Yes, they thought January 6th was awful. We all did. And it should never
we
have
all
happened.
did it.
And that's more playing, to be honest with you, to Trump's refusal to ever accept losing. You know, I just watched the movie about him that came out, and it's crystal clear. This has always been in his DNA. Never accept defeat. And that was a consequence of that mindset. But he wasn't a fascist in his first term. Yes, he says stuff he shoots from the hip verbally all the time. And he says stuff which sometimes sounds awful.
All the
But
time,
he
he
didn't
literally
actually
does.
behave like a fascist. And so when you tell the American people constantly, rather than telling us what Kamala Harris might do with the country, which she was completely incapable of articulating, by the way, and ducked the press, didn't do press conferences, blah, blah, blah. But when you constantly try and frame Trump, you know, I was at the Madison Square Garden rally, first one I'd been to. That was not a Nazi rally. It had a load of Jewish people sitting in the crowd. It had Israel banners all around the sides. It had a Holocaust survivor at the front. So when you try and frame it as some on the left,
it's
as a
not what they.
neo-Nazi
It's
rally,
just
and
never
go
what
back
they
as
say it is.
MSNBC did to a rally in 1939 in Madison Square Garden that was a neo-Nazi rally, you are losing the plot. It is not the way to beat Trump. It is the way to fuel Trump and to get him to be more popular. Do you know? Think I was right?
So you have to draw an important distinction here. In fact, two distinctions. So first of all, not only did I never call him a neo-Nazi or Hitler, I called him fascist, and there is a giant difference. But last night, Representative Steve Cohen from Tennessee was on the Young Turks as we were doing election coverage, and he called him Hitler. And I said, don't do that. Because Hitler killed 13 million people. We're not anywhere near there. I mean, this morning, Joy Reid's talking about how Florida's a fascist state. What are you talking about? I'm going to go into Miami a little bit later in this week. It's ridiculous. But in terms of why I call him a fascist and why I think it's right, Piers, is because he tried to overturn the election in 2020, and he did fake elector plot. He planned a coup, etc. And that's what fascists do. But it doesn't matter because he won this election fair and square. So we're back to democracy. Right. I'm happy to say clean slate. Let's see what he does. But I think, unfortunately, I'm going to be proven right about him as well. Because, yes, he's a much better fake populist, and the Democrats still don't get it. They're bragging about how they raised $1 billion and how all the corporate CEOs are on their side and all the Cheneys are on their side. That is the worst strategy you could possibly imagine. It's not that Trump won this nearly as much as the Democrats lost this election. They don't get it. Stop bragging about how CEOs love you and how you raised $1 billion, and that is corruption defined. Now, when it comes to Trump, look, guys, let's all hope that I'm wrong, but my guess is you're all going to be deeply disappointed. He's going to rob the place blind. Elon's going to rob the place blind. They're not real populists. They're going to give corporate tax cuts. They're going to do all the things that Democrats do. They're just going to be more clever about it.
Bro, this dude is extremely delusional. Did he just say Elon is going to rob the place blind? Of what? He's the richest man on the... What is he? What?
Their number one priority is going to be giant
ridiculous.
Corporate tax cuts and corporate deregulation.
Wow.
So,
this dude is
an
an idiot.
You guys will see he was never a populist. He was only looking out for himself.
All right, Vinny, you must be absolutely thrilled today because everything you've hoped for. This is like Thanksgiving and Christmas just came a little early, right?
1,000% morbid.
Piers, good morning. You know, Piers, it's always good when your guy wins, and I mean, you spoke with Donald Trump today. I know he's your friend, and it feels good. I know you're not supposed to say it, Piers, but we told you so, okay? And you guys were talking about this Hitler, like. Think about what the left did. You diminished the weight behind the name Hitler, okay? So now this morning, everybody on the left is like, oh my God, Hitler won and the Nazis are celebrating, all right? But Piers, people like Schenck and all these left, MSNBC, all the hags from freaking The View, they should be calling Trump and thanking him and celebrating. So at least they're gonna have something to talk about for the next 4 years, okay? Because these people have no substance. It's just Trump is the bad man. Watch us, listen to us. And I think it's a great day for America, Piers. And I just, he said last night, and I wrote this down, that God spared his life for a reason, and that's to save the country. Because let's not forget really quick, here's how we got here, okay? Trump was supposed to be dead. That assassin's bullet, Piers, and whoever that sniper assassin was going right for his head, okay? Because as we know, when it comes to assassins, Piers, they want to put out a freaking message. When they shot JFK, they shot him in his throat and then they shot him in his head. That sends a message to the world, don't mess with us. We're the deep state, we're the establishment, you don't do that. God spared his life, Piers. If he was dead, Biden would still be in right now. That walking zombie would still be the president. He would win by a landslide, and they'd probably use the 25th Amendment to get him out to have Kamala. She had no business being here. I actually feel bad for her.
I honestly,
7 days.
I honestly feel the same exact way. I've been telling everybody. I said, she does not deserve this. She was installed. She did do nothing. She did nothing to deserve to be president. This is why she lost. She was a do-nothing democrat. Or demon rat. Like, I don't get it,
To sell
bro.
the world on her being
Everything you're saying is the truth.
Work. God bless America, Piers, and
Never. She's done nothing.
Trump
She literally had 3.5 years as vice president that proved that she could do something good for this country, and she never did.
I'm ecstatic, Piers. I'm besides myself. It's amazing.
I mean, Crystal, talking to Kamala Harris, I do think it's pretty extraordinary she hasn't conceded yet. I mean, to be fair to Hillary Clinton, she did concede, in the early hours in 2016. Kamala Harris has had one of the biggest drubbings in modern political history anywhere, and still hasn't conceded. We're told she may make an address conceding at 6 o'clock tonight, Eastern time, which seems to me way too late. Why is she not? I mean, given all the fury from Democrats about Trump never conceding the election last time, surely the right thing to do would be for her to concede immediately, wouldn't it?
I mean, sure. We know she's going to concede. No one is seriously considering, like, oh, she's going to, as vice president, not do the electoral certification, et cetera. So I have no doubt she's going to concede. Democrats are going to say it was free and fair, and they're all going to move forward. I just want to say one thing to Vinny in response to this conversation about fascism, Hitler, et cetera. I think liberals are largely right about the threat that Trump represents. I think they're largely right when they describe his ideology accurately as fascism. And I think it's important we also remember where that conversation
but the American
about
people don't agree with you.
comments.
Yeah, Crystal, the problem is, I would really urge, hang on, Vinny. I would really urge liberals. Look, I am a liberal, all right? I know Cenk never believes me, but I am, all right? I know Trump personally. I've known him a long time, but I'm not a natural conservative, never have been. When I go on the 5 on Fox, they put me in the liberal chair. I joked with Harold about it the other day. They put me in his seat, right? So there's a reason they do that. I used to run a newspaper in Britain, which was lent to the left. So I really am. I'm more of a Bill Maher kind of guy when it comes to my politics. But I honestly urge liberals, wake the hell up. If you keep calling him a fascist,
I'm not arguing
if you keep calling him a fascist when he's won the popular vote, you're basically calling the majority of. Hang on, hang on, let me finish. Let me finish my point.
How are you supposed to describe
hang on,
Crystal. Right-wing ideology? It's fascism.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point, which is this.
You guys cut me off, and then I don't get to finish.
If he wins the popular vote, as well as everything else, what you're doing when you continue to call him a fascist, you're basically saying that all these Americans who voted for him are supporting a fascist and are therefore themselves fascists. Do you not get that?
But let's make a distinction here. I'm talking about accurately describing reality, a reality that was described by not liberals, by his chief of staff, John Kelly, a lifelong Republican, by Mike Mattis, right? By, ask Mike Pence how he feels about Donald Trump and his authoritarian tendencies in office. That's different. Accurately describing reality, which I think we all have an obligation to do, is different from arguing about how I think they should most effectively go about defeating that fascist ideology as embodied by Donald Trump. And on that, I agree with you. I think they go about it all the wrong ways by not offering an alternative vision that accurately identifies the problems in American society as unfettered capitalism, corporate greed, et cetera. So, in terms of the electoral piece, I think you're correct. But, just looking at the definition of fascism, looking at the people who served with him, who know him way better than I do, who say, yeah, I think that he fits the definition. I can't lie and not accurately describe reality because that would be dishonest to my audience.
Let me come to Dan. I want to come to Dan. I want to play, first of all, this is a little mashup of how liberals responded as the news became clear last night.
The Fox News decision desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
You know that old saying about how insanity is doing the same thing over and over
They
again?
showed
and
him
expecting a different
again. He
result?
showed
I
him
got
from
it totally
two, I
wrong.
think.
I thought Kamala Harris would win, and I believe she would win comfortably. I thought it would be over quite quickly.
You said, I guarantee Donald Trump will never be president again.
Yeah.
Right. You're wrong.
Well, I got wrong. It's competition for sure.
Yeah, Anthony Scaranucci.
Why isn't Philadelphia counting votes? I want to know what is going on. What the hell is going on right now?
I'm gonna cry tears, dude.
Oh,
I'm gonna cry the most tears. You're gonna own me so hard, dude.
It shouldn't be easier to beat a black woman. Or maybe it should.
He hasn't faced a whole slew of other charges. And yet, with all of that, he is going back to the White House.
It's not the elite that's going to pay the price. It's people who woke up this morning with a dream and are going to bed with a nightmare.
Dan, amusing though it will be to a lot of conservatives to watch all those liberal tears and all their dreams dying before our eyes. The challenge for Donald Trump, I'm very encouraged actually.
Right now, Piers.
But the challenge for Trump, and I was very encouraged actually by his speech. In fact, let me just play a little bit of his speech when he came out last night when he knew he'd won. Then I'll come to you for your response.
It was so normal and humble.
Let me just play the clip, Dan, and then I'll come to you. Hang on one sec.
Built the biggest, the broadest, the most unified coalition. They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen it. Young and old, men and women, rural and urban. They came from all corners, union, non-union, African American, Hispanic American, Asian American, Arab American, Muslim American. A historic realignment, uniting citizens of all backgrounds around a common core of common sense. You know, we're the party of common sense.
Now, Dan, I thought that was a really good phrase, that, the core of common sense, and the realignment, where he cited all these different ethnic groups in America who come together to basically sign up to Trump's worldview. And I do think, and liberals have not wanted to concede this point, but I've begun to detect a change in mood today, that when they try to downplay things like, for example, transgender athletes in women's sport and the very damaging impact that is having, I really think they underestimated how the majority of Americans feel about that kind of thing, that they just see it as completely unfair and an erosion of women's rights. And it's coming from a party, because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden both supported it, it comes from a party who tries to portray themselves as the only party that cares about women's rights. So I think this core of common sense message that Trump had was really significant in why he won. But also,
I just don't get it. Why do they
a unified way last night? He's got a chance to try and bring the country together. Do you think
it's like Democrats think we don't see things with our own eyes, and then they try to tell us no, you didn't. That's not how that is. It's like, dude, we know this dude's not a fascist. We know this dude's not a fucking insurrectionist because he didn't say anything to cause an insurrection. And he just gave Nancy Pelosi an erection. And it didn't work. It backfires on him.
He'll take that chance.
That's a great question. There's a lot to unpack. There was a lot said in the last few minutes, and I didn't get to hit any of it. And I actually think this conversation, first of all, about left-wing populism and right-wing populism and what populism even means, I think is really interesting. I hope we keep hitting on that. It was said before, he's a fake populist. Well, I hope so, because populism is crap. I mean, populism is the art of telling you what you want to hear instead of the truth. That is populism. Yeah, I mean, of course. I don't need to hide it. I talk about how bad populism is all the time. The least what?
Dan is establishment. Dan is establishment Republican. He hates it.
Whatever that means.
He's true. Yo, Cenk is right. Chunky Yogurt is right now. Wow, we agree.
More wars. So
yes.
He's the least happy.
He is. He's an establishment rhino.
Be on this
You start
entire
more,
panel.
yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm feeling. It's funny because I'm feeling pretty happy right now because.
Cenk, no
look,
one can be more
Trump didn't
unhappy
start
than
any
you,
wars.
surely. Come on.
Yeah, and like I've never started any wars. I'm actually the only one here who actually bothers fighting in them. So don't talk to me about war. And look, populism is just lying.
But you signed off to fund the money into Ukraine. So you're also willing to send people to war that you're not fighting in.
Populism is just lying. Liberals just lie to people. They bribe them with their votes. That was the Kamala Harris campaign slogan. We're going to give you $25,000 if you buy a new house. We're going to forgive your student loan debts. We're going to double the child tax credit, which was a Republican idea, by the way. Like, we're just going to bribe you if you just vote for me. And you know what? Nothing in your life is your fault. It's always somebody else's fault. You're the victim because of your skin color or gender. You're the victim. And people are so tired of hearing that. I speak to a lot of high schools. And when I bring up wokeism, when I bring up this victimhood ideology, that's actually what riles these kids up, which makes me really happy. It shows me that we're on a good track in America. They are sick of hearing this kind of stuff. That's what populism is. Now, maybe you have a different definition of it. You say it's against the elites, it's against the establishment. We need to be very clear about something. The Democrat Party does indeed have an establishment. You are correct about that. Nancy Pelosi orchestrated the downfall of Biden. That establishment orchestrated the insertion of
Biden in turn orchestrated the downfall of Kamala Harris. He lost this election for them. He put the nail in the coffin for real.
Kamala Harris without any vote whatsoever. That's all true. But you cannot tell me there's an establishment in the Republican Party. There simply isn't. There hasn't been for a very long time. I'll do a quick thought experiment and prove it. Well, I'll do a quick thought experiment and prove it to you. Stop laughing. It's annoying. So here's the thought experiment. I'm running him in my primary.
You're it. Look in the mirror.
I can do one of two things. I can say I'm bucking the establishment or I'm for the establishment. Which one is going to get me more votes? Obviously, bucking the establishment gets me more votes. So that negates the existence of any establishment. When 4% of our conference could take down our Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, we don't have an establishment. We don't have that unifying establishment. We never have. What's the address for this establishment? How are they funded? Who are they? Who are these dark, murky people running things and using their little puppet strings to control everybody? It's not true. It's not true.
Yeah, it is.
And so
you're an establishment rhino.
Is a left-wing ideology that has infected some of the right. And yes, Donald Trump is going to do things that are pro-growth because populist tendencies tend to be anti-growth. They tend to be anti-free market, and that's bad for your children and your children's children. So let's on that real quick. And I already forgot what Pierce's question actually was.
Well, it was really about. I'll tell you what it was, Dan. It was about unity and whether Trump has it in him to unify the country, given how divisive he is. But notwithstanding that, how big the win is, he's got a chance.
Well, I'm hopeful on that for a few reasons. One, right? Trump has had this chip on his shoulder for years after the 2020 election. And you know, we all know what that's about. But he's no longer running for re-election, and he had a really clean sweep. That matters a lot to the man's psyche. Another thing, he cares about his legacy. Now he doesn't have to worry about re-election. He cares more than anything else about legacy. And for him, that means America is the best at every metric that you can imagine. So, look, guys, we have 4
Dan Crenshaw's a fucking douche.
years of Trump already. He didn't govern as a fascist. And I'd love to hear what your definition of fascism is. I mean, is it packing the Supreme Court? Is it doing away with the filibuster? So, by the way, are Democrats still in favor of those things? Are Democrats still now in favor of doing away with the filibuster and packing the Supreme Court? I'm just curious. Or are those now not part of the Democrat platform? Because those are fascistic tendencies as well, this authoritarian tendencies.
Okay, let me bring Cenk in. I mean, Cenk, look, the problem is, whatever you say this morning, to be honest, and I say this respectfully, is all just going to sound pretty hollow, because the truth is, the Democrats have taken just a gigantic drubbing. I mean, it's on a scale so big, it's humiliating. So almost everything that your side has been saying for the last year has just gone up in smoke. No one was buying into it. But no one was buying into anything Kamala Harris had to say about anything, it looks like. She actually did worse than Biden almost everywhere.
Worse.
I mean, that's quite an achievement. So what do the Democrats do coming out of the wreckage
terribly
of it?
worse.
Yeah. So I don't know how many times I got to tell you this, Piers. I don't like Democratic leadership. I think they are grossly incompetent. I loathe them. Okay, look, they call Donald Trump a maniacal clown, and I agree with that. And then
you still vote for them and support them and endorse them. So what is it?
But they lost to him
Still
twice.
doesn't
So what
make
does that make
sense.
them? Utter losers. And they're all over TV now blaming the voters, blaming this, blaming that. That's not why they lost. They lost because the Democratic Party leadership is a bunch of elitist clowns who agree with Dan Crenshaw. They think, oh, there's no establishment. You guys are making it up. So, Dan, I'll tell you who
Why
the
are they
establishment is.
attacking me all the time? Why do they hate my guts? I'm their worst enemy.
It's
easy for me to beat them.
Okay.
It's so easy for me to beat Democrats.
So let me explain.
I'm one of the best at it.
Yeah. You guys actually totally agree, and you will agree on corporate tax cuts in a couple within days of Donald Trump winning. So,
What
guys,
Democrat
he said there is no
agrees on
Republican
corporate tax cuts?
Can I just finish the point? Okay. So, who's the establishment Republicans?
No Democrat agrees on that.
Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's an establishment Republican. Almost all the Republican senators are establishment Republicans. And by the way, Nancy
Define
Pelosi
what
is an
that
establishment Democrat. Joe Biden is. What it means is you take donor money and you serve donors. You guys are all crooks. So you notice what Dan said? He said, oh, we're going to do I think Trump is smart enough to do pro-growth. You know what that means? It means tax cuts for the rich that are all Dan's donors. And they were Kamala Harris's donors.
When you say
It's not a left-right issue.
Cheng, when you say
Can
you're all
I put
crooks,
some economic
hang on, Dan,
statistics?
hang
You're
on,
going to do corporate tax cuts, aren't you? You're going to do corporate tax cuts, aren't you?
No, let me just say
You're going to do corporate
something.
tax cuts, aren't you?
Cheng, when you
I
say
want Dan
you
on the
guys,
record. I want Dan on the record.
hang on, Cheng, when you say Cheng,
There should be
you
corporate
guys are all.
taxes. I told
hang
you.
on,
I
let me
told
speak.
you.
Let me speak. When you
Rich
say you
establishment,
guys are
correct?
Good economic
Cheng,
sense.
I understand, Cheng, that the mood inside your body might be running hot this morning. However,
No,
let me
it's
just point out
not. You're
something.
not getting it.
When
My
you shout,
enemies,
you
the
guys are all
loser, idiot Democratic
Cheng,
establishment lost.
I get it, but when you say you guys are all crooks, and you got someone like Dan sitting there,
what does that
it's a
mean?
ridiculous thing to say. Why?
You're so funny, dude. All right, chat. I'm gonna call it a night. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with me. We will see you guys later. Peace.